Hello, welcome to Food Immerse, a channel where we not only teach you how to cook delicious dishes, but immerse ourselves in the history, culture, science, and beauty of food. I'm Lorraine, and I'm so excited for you to join me on this journey, exploring different cuisines, ingredients, and cooking techniques. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single delicious episode. Pulled pork sandwiches. This is a real crowd pleaser that is also easy on the cook. The pork is very hands-off, low and slow cooking. The barbecue sauce can be made up to 2 weeks ahead, the spice rub 2 days ahead, and all prep for the coleslaw and dry rub of the pork can be done the night before. You could even fully cook the pork, shred it, and mix it with the barbecue sauce the day before, and just warm it in a very low oven right before assembling the sandwiches. Regarding quantity, the yield on this recipe can vary greatly depending on the size of your pork shoulder. If it's closer to 3 pounds, you should be able to make approximately 10 sandwiches or 20 sliders. If closer to 5 pounds, you can make more. I encourage you to make a larger amount than you need. Pulled pork is an amazing leftover for tacos, nachos, quesadillas, pizza, great with caramelized onions, in grilled cheese, on mashed potatoes, or mixed in with baked beans. Please see our last 2 videos linked in the description to complete your sandwiches, 3 barbecue sauces and 2 coleslaws. Make 1, 2, or all 3 barbecue sauces to be paired with 1 or 2 of the coleslaws. I recommend Korean barbecue sauce with Asian coleslaw, and either Essential or Carolina Gold barbecue sauce with the basic coleslaw. If cooking a larger pork shoulder, the barbecue sauce and coleslaw recipes can be easily doubled. Okay, let's get cooking. To make the dry rub for pulled pork, you will need 1½ teaspoons whole coriander, 1½ teaspoons whole black peppercorns, 1½ teaspoons whole cumin seeds, 2½ teaspoons kosher salt, 1½ teaspoons dry mustard powder, 1½ teaspoons chili powder. If you don't want as much heat, use ancho chili powder or you can omit, and 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. To make the pulled pork, you will need, in addition to the dry rub, 1 3 to 5 pound pork shoulder, also known as pork butt. This can be bone-in or boneless, 1 onion, and 1 12-ounce bottle brown, amber, or porter ale. To assemble the sandwiches, you will need 10 regular-size soft rolls or buns, or 20 slider-size soft buns, 1 cooked shredded pork shoulder, 2½ cups barbecue sauce, and 5 cups of coleslaw. These amounts are approximate and based on about a 3 to 3½ pound pork shoulder. The special equipment you will need are a spice grinder and either a slow cooker or a covered gas grill. You can also use the oven. Over medium heat in a small dry skillet, toast the whole coriander and black peppercorns. Shake the pan frequently to prevent burning. You will hear the spices start to crackle and then pop. Once toasted and fragrant, remove to a plate to cool. Now toast the cumin seeds in the same way. The smaller cumin seeds must be toasted separately and moved constantly because they cook very quickly and can go from toasted to burnt in a ½ second. It's best to hold the pan up off the heat when they're close to being done. When done, add to the coriander and peppercorns on the plate. Place the toasted spices in the spice grinder. Grind to a powder. Place in a small bowl. Now add the salt, dry mustard, and chili powder. Finally, add the brown sugar and combine ingredients well with a fork. Dry pork shoulder on all sides with paper towels. Massage dry rub generously onto all sides of the pork. The dry rub can be applied either immediately before cooking or the night before. If applying dry rub the night before, wrap tightly in plastic and store in the refrigerator overnight. If cooking in the oven or a covered gas grill, preheat to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. When ready to cook the pork, cut the top off the onion and cut in half through the root. This will make it easier to peel. Peel both halves. Place each half flat side down and cut into thin slices. Place the onion slices in the bottom of the slow cooker. If you are cooking the pork in a gas-covered grill or the oven, place in a Dutch oven or metal high-sided braising pan with lid. Now add the bottle of ale. Place the pork shoulder on top of the onions. Cover and turn the slow cooker on high. Cook for 1 hour on high and then turn to low and cook for 8 to 12 hours. If cooking in the oven or a covered gas grill, cover the pork and cook for 6 to 8 hours. The pork is done when it is tender and the meat easily shreds off with a fork. The internal temperature should be 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Once cool enough to handle, remove the bone if there was one. Transfer pork to a large shallow pan or ceramic dish. Use 2 forks to thoroughly shred the pork. Remove and discard any large pieces of fat as you go. Lift all of the cooked onions out of the pot and add them to the pork. Add just enough broth to moisten and stir together. At this point, if you are using just one type of barbecue sauce, go ahead and add 1.5 to 2 cups to this dish. If you're going to offer 2 or 3 different types, then first divide the pork evenly into 2 or 3 bowls and portion each barbecue sauce out accordingly. We are going to portion the pork out into 3 bowls so we can offer sandwiches with 3 different flavors of barbecue sauce. I'm starting with the essential barbecue sauce and adding about a half cup. You want the pork moist and flavorful but not overly wet. Now do the same with the Carolina Gold and then the Korean barbecue sauce. Save any leftover barbecue sauce to spread on the sandwich rolls. I recommend toasting the buns so that they stand up to the juiciness of the ingredients. When toasting a large quantity, it's best on a rack under the broiler. To assemble the sandwiches, pile some pulled pork on the bottom of each bun. Next, add a mound of coleslaw on top of the pork. I'm using basic coleslaw on the Essential and Carolina Gold barbecue sandwiches and Asian coleslaw on the Korean barbecue sandwich, finished with sesame seeds. Finally, spread some of the corresponding barbecue sauce inside the top of each sandwich. Put sandwiches or sliders out and watch them disappear. Thank you so much for joining Food Immerse and exploring different cuisines, ingredients, and cooking techniques. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss a single delicious episode. If you make this dish, I would love to hear about it in the comments or shoot me an email. Until next time, cheers to good food.